Welcome back to our book club. No, I'm just kidding.
It's like Fight Club, just not as cool.
Yeah, there you go. Book club. We're going to take a bunch of books, stick them in a building, and then blow it up. No.
Cool.
No. We're going to do is we're going to go through some meditations by Marcus Aurelius. In case you don't know who he is, Roman Empire, Stoic philosopher. Meditations is a series of his personal writings reflecting on Stoic philosophy and self-discipline. And so we're going to hop into book two because book one is kind of his thanks to certain people in his life, which it is great to read. And so you probably ought to pick up a book by called Meditations Marcus Aurelius. You can get it off Amazon. Not too bad. But yeah, we're going to go through like three of his meditations today and give some insight on them. First one here that we're going to go through is number one, and I'm going to read it out of a book, and then we're going to kind of explain it because in the book it's written in like I don't know, just an older style poetic form, and so it says, "Begin the
It's like a
morning by
direct
saying."
translation.
Yeah, it's direct translation. It's like reading from the manuscripts of Marcus Aurelius. So in English, uh, begin the morning by saying to thyself, I shall meet with the busybody, the ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, unsocial. All these things happen to them by reason of their ignorance and what it is good and evil. But I who have seen the nature of the good, that it is beautiful, and of the bad, that it is ugly, and the nature of him who does wrong, that it is akin to me, not only of the same blood or seed, but that it participates in the same intelligence and the same portion of the divinity. I can neither be injured by any of them, for no one can fix on me what is ugly, nor can I be angry with my kinsman, nor hate him. For we are made for cooperation, like feet, like hands, like eyelids, like the rows of the upper and lower teeth, to act against one another, then is contrary to nature, and it is again acting against one another to be vexed and to turn away. So you want to explain that?
So a couple highlights from that section is that, begin each day expecting to encounter rude, selfish, or ignorant people. Just like have that expectation, right? But recognize their behavior stems from like a lack of understanding of good and evil. And this is from his perspective, right? And then remember that we are all part of the same human family, rational beings meant to work together. And I believe further in the book, he talks about how it's like we're all on the planet in this short period. So let's try to work together. It's like there are brothers and sisters in this present period of time in life. There is a ton of people that lived before us, a ton of people that live back, that's going to live in the future. But when we look around, these are the people we get to live with now, right? And then don't let others' actions disturb your inner peace. Acting with hostility towards others is unnatural. We're meant to cooperate like body parts in harmony. So kind of back to what I just said, where it's like we're all in this ecosystem of life together during this period of time. Try to treat each other in a good way and work together towards the common good.
Yeah, I think like the core idea is just practicing patience and empathy towards others' flaws. And so that's a good thing to wake yourself up to every single morning. It's just be prepared for other humans' imperfection. Um, framing it as the way that he says it here is framing it as a result of ignorance rather than malice. And so, but
Right.
yeah, that's pretty
And
good. You
having like
want
empathy because we don't know what other people are going through. And just because they act poorly towards us doesn't mean that they're intentionally acting poorly towards us. Maybe something's going on in their life and you just happen to be their method of expressing their anger towards that. And it may not have anything to actually do with you, but just waking up understanding that there are people out there like that.
yeah, it's good because you avoid, if you get in that mindset, you also avoid unnecessary anger in your own life. And so it helps you to better focus on a rational response to diffuse the situation rather than uh, making it worse. So, any more thoughts on that first one? All
Nope.
right. let's hop on to meditation number 2. Whatever that is that I am is a little flesh and breath and the ruling part. Throw away thy books, no longer distract thyself. It is not allowed. But as if thou wast now dying, despise the flesh. It is blood and bones and a network, a contexture of nerves, veins, and arteries. See the breath also, what kind of a thing it is. Air, and not always the same, but every moment sent out and again sucked in. The third then is the ruling part. Consider thus, thou art an old man, no longer let this be a slave, no longer be pulled by the strings, like a puppet to unsocial movements. No longer either be dissatisfied with thy present lot or shrink from the future.
So a few highlights in this section. So he's essentially saying, like, we are made of body, breath, and the ruling mind. So the life force, reason. Your body and breath are temporary. Only your rational mind truly defines you. So also, stop being distracted by outward things, including too much reading or learning. I think reading and learning can be a good excuse for procrastination and to put things off, where it's like you need to take action, but you could read a little bit more and you could learn a little bit more and try to distract yourself a little bit more unconsciously. It's an unconscious form of I can't think of the word. It's it's like a self-sabotage. Reading too much and learning too much is a form of self-sabotage, and so it's just a reminder to actually take action, and stop being distracted and distracting yourself too much, right? So he also accept your current situation without complaint, right? We look back on our lives, and every step that we've taken up until now has led us to this exact moment. So we are fully responsible for where we are now in our lives, right? And then lastly, live each day as if it could be your last, calmly, rationally, and in alignment with nature. I think that's just a good way to live life, right? If you need to be present in every moment, because this could be the last day, right? And so, treat everyone around you the way you'd want to be remembered, and take action as if there is no tomorrow, and then be present in the moment, because that's the only way to actually live a fulfilled life.
Yeah, so prioritizing rational action depending on what is present before you, emphasizing that life is short, focusing on what matters, living virtuously, contributing to the greater good, rather than being swayed by emotions and distractions. And then I think, which was what you were saying, in all of these, he has this mindset, which is memento mori, which is remember you will die. It kind of, in this sense, Marcus frees himself from fear and aligns his actions with reason. So going throughout life, it makes it a whole lot easier for him to have a rational action, knowing that, one day you'll die. So make the most of what you have right now. And so just encourages mindfulness and purpose-filled living. So with that there. But so off to meditation 3. I'll read this third one here, the last one here that we have for today. All that is from the gods is full of providence. That which is from fortune is not separated from nature, or without an interweaving and involution with the things which are ordered by providence. From thence all things flow, and there is besides necessity, and that which is for the advantage of the whole universe, of which thou art a part. But that is good for every part of nature which the nature of the whole brings, and what serves to maintain this nature. Now the universe is preserved, as by the changes of the elements, so by the changes of things compounded of the elements. Let these principles be enough for thee, let them always be fixed opinions. But cast away the thirst after books, that thou mayest not die murmuring, but cheerfully, truly, and from thy heart thankful to the gods.
So this section, it's really a reminder that, everything that happens is part of like natural order in life. Like, it rains on the good and the bad. Events may seem random, but they are purposeful in, a larger whole of nature. Going back to, it rains on the good and the bad, right? And then, one of the highlights is like trust that what happens is for the good of the whole. I'm reminded of like a Bible verse that says everything works together for good to them that love God, right? It's like it may be a negative situation, but it's a good thing for you in the end because maybe there's a lesson to be learned or maybe it makes you stronger, right? He also says like don't fear death, right? It's natural and part of life's cycle. And I can't help but wonder if all of the reminders throughout all of his meditations are just him constantly reminding himself and trying to accept it. It's not like he's just made up his mind, right? It's like a constant reminder that, he could die tomorrow. And back then, with all the conquering, with all the war, and, how short life was back in older times without like modern medicine, it definitely was very, I think, very front of mind for a lot of people. And then lastly, like let go, constantly seeking knowledge, live in agreement with reason and nature. Um, Kind of just going back to like only ever learning can be a hindrance to progress in your own life. You could sit there in a library reading all the time, and at the end of your life, have just read a whole bunch of books and never actually lived. So that's kind of the summary for that section. What do you think, man?
Yeah, the verse you were talking about, Romans 8:28, for all things work together for good to them that love God, to them that are called according to his purpose. Um, it's a great verse for this. Another one is Jeremiah 29:11. I was looking up. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. And so there's definitely going to be chaotic things that take place. And the key thing here is going through each and every one of them calmly and unruffled. And just the core idea here, I think, is just embrace the universe as what seems like it's rational order, and your place in it. And so the concept of amor, fati, love of fate, living in accordance with nature, is kind of the idea here. There's going to be storms that come your way, just things that constantly, there's going to be a new battle every day. And so you have to learn to overcome those battles, and you do it by staying unruffled, by rational thinking. And so, yeah, that's kind of where that comes from. But that's my thought on it.
Yeah. I love this video, man. Excited to continue our book club. And yeah, man. I think it's a good spot to wrap it up.
Rule number 1, don't talk about book club.
Rule number 2, don't talk about book club.
Don't talk about book club. Yep. All right. Thanks, y'all, for watching. Appreciate you joining in with us. If you would like and subscribe, helps us out a lot. Thanks.